All right, I'll keep working on it. Phil, if you want to go ahead and get started. Y'all, Phil, you guys should know him if you're here on Zoom. He's one of our onboarding specialists here at Housecall Pro. He partners with us almost every week to do this. We're really grateful. Yeah, Phil, let's talk about the homepage and answer some questions on Dash.
Yeah, sure. I'm pretty sure Chris kind of prefaced what today's going to really look like. We're going to go over the homepage and the dashboard. Now, I'm not going to really spend too much time in the dashboard because it's not available it's what the old homepage was, and so some people are grandfathered into it. Most all of our new accounts don't have access to it. That's what the homepage is for. So just kind of want to preface that. But as usual, we'll just kind of go through a little bit of information, make sure we're all on the same page, and then I'll go ahead and share my account so that we can take a look at what my homepage looks like and a little bit about what my dashboard looks like too. So let's go ahead and get into it. So, for our homepage, what is the homepage? Talking about some of the homepage keys and some of the dashboard information. And as I mentioned, we'll go ahead and do a little demo, have some time for questions and answers. So, for the homepage, I'm sure everybody's familiar with it. When you log into your account, it's literally the first page that pops up. It's pretty easy to use, and it gives you a couple of different places to go ahead and click into certain reports. But it's the best place to get a quick glance of basically what is happening for the day and what is happening with the business. So, um, things that you need to take action on, what the financial health of the business is looking like. And as I said, just kind of our company history of what we're expecting to happen today, as well as what is going to be happening or what has been happening over a period of time. So lots of information in there. Again, I'll kind of, once we get into the demo, kind of show everything that is available in that area. Now, for the homepage key, in there's a couple of different options. So, and a couple of different reports. So, open items, being able to take a look at any of the tasks that need attention, such as unscheduled jobs, unassigned estimates, or overdue invoices. There's places for stats and insights, so we can see some of our KPIs, revenue. Take a look at the map, employee status, completed jobs, outstanding invoices, and any other type of customer activity. Also, being able to access jobs, invoices, and estimates, being able to really see those within a report, manage them, and be able to take a quick look at them. So again, we will be able to see all of this happening once I get into the demo side of it. Now for the dashboard, as I mentioned that a long time ago, this was the home page. I don't, and also as I said, don't want to get too in the weeds of this here, but obviously I know some people may have it and have some questions. But if you are new to House Call Pro, you do not have access to the dashboard. As I said, it's kind of the old home page that we had, and in there was some different kinds of reports and some other different types of quick views of being able to look at the health of your business and being able to track any type of activity, that kind of stuff. Um, we basically, when we went moved away from the dashboard, is what we replaced it with was with our new reporting section. We've done a couple of sessions on the reporting section, so if you want to need some more information on those reports, certainly feel free to take a look at those previous sessions that we did. But that's really what we did was take that dashboard, move all of those reportings into the new reports, the new reporting section. With the dashboard here, I haven't taken a look at the questions yet, but I'm assuming that some of them a common one that I've always gotten is sometimes the information on there isn't as accurate as it should be. I usually encourage my pros to use the reporting section a little bit more just because, as I explained, the dashboard is almost kind of like an obsolete feature, hence why we have the home page, hence why we have our reporting section. But some people are still grandfathered into the dashboard just because they have reports built the way that they like in that area and they want to keep those. So we offered to allow them to keep that. So, Let's go ahead and take a spin through all the information that's on there. So I pulled up my account here, and as we're taking a look at my home page, we can see that it already kind of at the top here is giving me a prompt of like, what should we dive into today? I can We've done a session before about all the AI features that have come out with our system. So if you have more questions regarding the AI features, certainly feel free to take a look at that particular session. But if you are new to the system, or if you have this box up here at the top, we can go ahead and receive our Google reviews, or it's basically going to lead us to our review page. Adding a checklist to a job, connecting QuickBooks Online, ask the AI something. So really being able to access the AI support that is available to everybody. Scooting on down, we can see here there's a quick estimates report, jobs report, invoice report, and service plan report. So if we wanted to, it's as easy as just going ahead to click on viewing all estimates, or I can click on just looking at the open estimates, and it'll go ahead and show me all of my estimates that are open. Pretty straightforward. Same thing with our jobs, same thing with our invoices, and for our service plans. Right here, we can see for people that do service plans, I've got 76 unscheduled visits. So it gives me a place to be able to go in and manage those visits, take a look and see who is needed for a visit, and made it super easy for everybody by putting the scheduling button right there on the right-hand side. So I usually tell people on my calls is if you are somebody that does a lot of service plans, and you see this number start to go up, then maybe your office manager should probably pull up this list right here and start calling the customers going down the list right there. And as I mentioned, the scheduling button is right there on the right hand side. Scooting on down, here's kind of like a quick shot of what has been going on within the company. So I have week to date, but we can always change that. Again, this is all pulling from that reporting section. For those that haven't been there before, it's the reporting tab up here at the top, or I can go to view all reports. It takes us to the exact same place. But I'd say so. Let's get some more data. So let's maybe do year to date. Okay. So with my year to date, um, at a glance information here, we can see that my revenue earned was about $31,000, about 29 jobs completed, my average job size being about $1,000. Total new jobs booked. So any of jobs that are booked with new customers, we can see what how much revenue has come in from that, and how many jobs have been booked online. So if you are utilizing the online booking feature, that way we can pull a report to see how many of our jobs are coming in from online booking as opposed to maybe, let's say, our sales team, or how many people are calling in. So a lot of very useful information right there to get at a glance. Otherwise, we can always click on view all reports to take us to that reporting section to go ahead and make any adjustments to any reports that we want to take a look at. As we scroll on down, we can see our employee status for today and tomorrow. Let me actually throw a couple on the schedule here so that we kind of have something to work with. Let's see. Throw this one on there for tomorrow. There we go. All right, so now when we go to our home page, we can go ahead and see there. Since I booked one of those jobs to be a little bit later in today, we're able to take a look, and there shows us our job, and it shows us the one that's going to be happening after it. So that gives us a quick glance of our employees and what their day is going to look like. We can certainly, from the homepage, call that particular employee if their cell phone information is attached to their employee profile. Same thing with shooting them a text, which would shoot it out from the inbox if you have the text messaging feature enabled. Um, for the jobs there, simple as easy as clicking on them. So if we need to pull them up in the office for any particular reason, we can do that from the home page. And also we have the little map. Now I'm pretty much I'm in home. I don't have a team or a crew that is out there, but if people are out in the um out there doing jobs, when they're out there, if you're using the basic GPS tracking, when they're hitting start, on my way, finish on the job, we're going to see their little icon move over to wherever they hit that button from so that that way we have an idea of where our technicians are. And then scrolling on down, we can go ahead and take a look at our recent activity feed. So as I've talked to people about notifications and being notified of when certain things have been approved or like when things have been paid for, or we just want to keep track of when technicians are saying are on their way, that kind of information. It's all here in the recent activity feed so that that way we can pull that information up without really having to dig for it. And then similarly, as you saw me put a bunch of things onto the schedule, it gives us here a little bit more of a broader schedule view of all of the jobs that are going to be assigned within the next several days. And there's always a button that will lead us directly to the schedule. So if we want another way of clicking that, we always can do that as well. So that's pretty much everything that's on the homepage. I know it's kind of a very easy feature compared to some of the other ones we've gone over in the past. Now I'll just kind of move over to the dashboard. So for the people that have the dashboard, just kind of reiterating what is available here to you. Common question, and I know I mentioned this earlier, is if you are new to the program, you do not have access to the dashboard. So if one of the questions that you all have for us is, can I get the dashboard? The answer is going to be no. But in the dashboard here, very similarly, it's a place where we can go ahead and view our upcoming jobs, take a look at any of our open estimates. There's also an open invoices location. So if we wanted to go ahead and view those past due invoices, if we go ahead and click on it, it's going to pull up a report for us so we can see which ones are overdue. Also in here, there's places for I created this report to look at all my open work. We can look at paid invoices, so how many have been paid all time and how much what has been paid. Otherwise, we can always click on taking a look at the report. Now, this is kind of the old way of how the old reporting looks. So again, if you don't have access to this, that's why we have the reporting tab for you. You can build all the same reports in reporting as you did when you were building them on the old dashboard. Other things in here, like today's stats, I went ahead and added a couple of custom reports. So I have in here for like estimates, I wanted to take a look at my conversion rate. So I'm able to see how many have won, how many have lost. I also pulled in a technician's like kind of weekly report. So you do have the ability within the dashboard to go ahead and build some custom reports like timesheets, estimates, jobs, or repeat customer reports, or just kind of building off them in any way. When you get to this particular section, it's very similar to our reporting area, as I mentioned before. So when we just kind of jumping over to reporting really quickly, if we're looking at a jobs report, you can use the filters up here at the top as well as the edit columns button over here to go ahead and expand or contract your report. Very similarly to how the old dashboard worked, whereas if we're in the old dashboard, this is kind of the way we built those reports. There is a place to put in our check the boxes to increase the amount of columns we have, uncheck the box to remove the columns that we don't need. And same idea is once we build out a report to our liking, you do have the ability to save that report to the dashboard, or you do have the ability to export it to an Excel sheet so you can have that to pass it to anybody, send it to anybody, print it, whatever that's going to look like. And really for that, I would say that's pretty much it for the dashboard as well. Again, kind of simple feature here, really just kind of giving you highlights of your business and being able to lead you to the reports that you need to view that data and information. So I'm curious on any questions that have come up. So let's see if any have come in. I see one from Larry here in the chat. Um, will we receive a notification when the service plan visit reminder email goes out to a customer? You are not going to get a notification per se. What you can do is it will show up on your activity feed, though. So whenever people are asking me about notifications, really in your account settings, there is a spot for specifically notifications. Um, where is it? Yeah, notifications. So here's really all of the notifications that happen and are going to hit this bell right here. Those are the notifications you get. So if you are looking for a notification of anything outside of what is offered in this section, I always recommend is you'll want to go to your activity feed. Or as I was showing today, if we go to our home page, we can look at that recent activity as well. I don't see any other questions in the chat. I see here's a couple that were pre-prepared. Should reports on the dashboard be used or just the home page, which is more accurate? So that's a good question. I did kind of point this out a little bit earlier, is honestly, in my opinion, I always guide my pros to use the reporting section because I feel like that is the best place where you're going to get the most accurate information regarding any of your reports. Um, if you do have the dashboard, as I mentioned, I've heard from pros in the past that it can be a little inaccurate at times. So again, I would lean more towards the homepage would be the answer to that question. Next one, can the dashboard still be accessed if I just have the homepage tab now? I already answered that one, so the answer is no. If you are new to the system, you do not have access to the dashboard. You will not have access to the dashboard. And can I change the tiles that show up on the homepage? For the homepage, you're not really, as far as I know, you're not really able to add any. It's really just kind of what is here, just because this is the most important information for you. Whereas differently, the dashboard had the ability to kind of create your own reports and add them to the dashboard. But again, all of this can be done within the reporting section. Uh, Chris, do you see any from Facebook or any others that are popping up?
I don't. I think we've got one viewer on Facebook. It might be Chris Godwin. Oh, we had a question just come up from Billy. He says, I have a question about setting. I had a couple of questions about this too. I have a question about setting two commission rates for one employee. Selling techs get 20% for service and 10% sales. No, it's slightly unrelated, but I did actually, there was a couple people when we hopped on here, I said we would show them a couple things, so they
Okay,
don't
okay,
mind.
yeah, that works. That works, you know. Yeah, as we were discussing, this would be a good time to get some other questions. But all right, so to answer the commission question, I get this all the time. Um, Unfortunately, our system is only designed at this current state to reflect one commission rate. So, however, if you do have commissions turned on, this is the way that I would do this. So, the first thing is when we are setting up our employees and we go to their pay section, that is where we can go ahead and apply a commission rate. So for this employee, I'll say maybe 10%. Now, if I go ahead and create a job with that employee on there, and let's say they sold this particular one, so I'm marking that he is going to get commissions on it. I do have somebody else that's on there too that's going to be getting commissions. So when we go down to our commission section, the commission section is already accounting for the commission rate that we attach to that customer. So as I said, the system currently only does one commission rate. However, I always tell everybody is in Billy's example is that you have another commission rate on it. That's why we've gone ahead and we've made this part customizable. So at this current rate, they're only getting 10%, but maybe this we want to give them an extra 10%. So for that, we can just easily go ahead and put in what more that we need to give them. I've definitely given some feedback. I've definitely heard some pro votes of being able to switch out the commission rate from here. That's maybe something that may be improved along the line, but as of right now, this is how I typically coach everybody how to do commissions if there's more than one.
Awesome. Thanks for covering that real quick. One
Yep, yep.
other unrelated question. I was talking with a few people here before you jumped on. I was talking with Dusty. He had said, I'd love to be able to pull a report that shows if the job has been built out or even if a job has not been built out. I know you can pull some invoice reports, but I don't know the exact answer to that question.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a tricky one. Because in our reporting section, you are able to pull the invoice reports, and we can look at our outstanding invoices and when they were created, but that's not entirely what you're looking for. You're looking to see which ones have had the invoice sent and which ones haven't. So trying to think of the best way to explain it because I'm seeing it in my head. I'm sure everybody is familiar with what I'm going to say is we're going to talk about tags.
Yeah.
Tags is going to be the easiest way to do this. What I typically would coach people on that is if you aren't using the pipeline, because the pipeline would certainly help you with that. It's not necessarily pulling a report. Um, but if we were looking at a job, and let's say bill out for maybe needs to bill. Whoop, whoop. Looks like I'm glitching out over here. Give me a second here. Okay. Notice right there, there's the job tags that are showing up that bill out needs to bill. And then for this, we can certainly export this report. So if you need it in a spreadsheet format, you can certainly do so. That would be my best suggestion because then we could also filter by those particular tags. So just typing in bill out needs to bill, or once that job has been billed or paid out, you could then remove those tags and put on, you know, I don't know, however you want to phrase it, collected. So that would be my immediate way to pull a report of what needs to be billed out and what doesn't. Um, the and what we've collected on. The other one that I'm thinking of top of mind here is the report that I always show everybody how to build it, which is an accounts receivables report. And for that is if we are in our reporting section and we go to jobs, and I'm just going to I'm going to use my monthly example again. We got year to date, and our jobs are completed because obviously, if we're trying to figure out if we're going to bill it out or if it's already been paid for, so we want it to be completed. And then down below here, I can edit my columns to go ahead and add job total and paid amount. And so what that does here is now when we're taking a look at the different months I have, all right, here's a good example in January. In January, I had three jobs that totaled $19,000, and I can see that I haven't collected any of it. So now I can click on that month of January, and it's going to go further in depth and t show me those three jobs that I haven't collected on. So I think that might actually be better for the report that you're trying to build instead of going the tags route. But just want to show the versatility of the system that you can kind of do this a couple different ways.
Awesome. Thanks for answering those, Phil. Appreciate
Yeah.
it. Getting crickets, and I see we've had some drop off as well. So I think might be it. Any final questions? Any topics that we should cover in January or next year? Anything that we should do next? I did say we're going to talk about reporting for sure. A lot of people are going to be reviewing numbers and stuff in
Yeah,
2025 and
that
early
makes
26.
sense.
So
Oh,
CSRAI.
CSR, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I was telling everybody as well, we're working on a lot of AI things. There's going to be an AI boot camp week we're trying to get underway, probably sometime in February, maybe March, hopefully February. It'll be like a 5 day, show up every day. We're gonna have expert folks like Morgan Knox and Roland and some of our pros. Might bring in a couple of outside people. We'll see. Um, but yeah, we'll keep doing this power hour. We're meeting in the new year to talk about all the new topics and a little bit might change the format slightly. So if you have any feedback, if you have my email or you have me on Facebook, let me know. We're open to your suggestions. And yeah, Phil, I'm not seeing anything, so I think we're gonna call it good.
All right, sounds good. Well, it was a pleasure showing up again. Pleasure to see everybody. At least for me, have a happy holiday and a Merry Christmas.
Yeah, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and we'll see everyone next year. Take
All
care.
right, later.